Hello everyone, welcome to the
CNS Dialogue Den, where your voice matters.
I'm Aisha and I'm here with my co-host Ayush.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. We're students at Chhatrabhuj Nursery School, Amanora Park Town, and today we're diving into a topic that impacts all of us: mental health in schools, and how the environment around us plays a huge role in supporting students.
This episode is extra special as we are celebrating World Mental Health Day that is recognized on the 10th of October. This day is dedicated to raising awareness about mental health issues and breaking down stigmas around them. It's a reminder that mental health is just as important as your physical health and it affects everyone.
That's right, Aisha. World Mental Health Day highlights the importance of mental well-being and ensuring that everyone has access to the right kind of support. As students, we wanted to mark this day with a special episode to show how our school is working hard to create a safe and supportive environment for everyone's mental health.
Mental health is something we're becoming more and more aware of every day. It's not just about getting good grades, it's about managing stress, balancing schoolwork with life, and finding emotional support when needed. Thankfully, at Chhatrabhuj Nursery School, we have a great support system in place. That's why we are so happy to have our school counselor, Ms. Bhavita Thomas, here with us today.
I'm really glad to be here. Thank you for having me. As Aisha rightly said, we cannot separate mental health from the physical health. So it is very important and crucial to talk about it. Just to give a small analogy, mental health and physical health is like a Wi-Fi and your phone's battery. If one goes down, the phone might not function, even though there are amazing apps on it, right? So both of them is equally important. And yes, we need to talk about it. So I'm really excited to dive in.
Let's get right into it. Miss Bhavita, as a school counselor, you interact with students daily. How do you think the school environment impacts a student's mental health?
Right. So school is not just a place for academics. It is so much more, majorly because you spend so much time in school. So school helps you not just with your academics, but also with your social growth, your cognitive, intellectual, emotional growth. All of these are combined. So having a safe environment is very important. You need to wake up and feel like going to this place, right? So it is very important to create that safe and stable environment in school.
That's really nice to know about and very reassuring. What are some specific programs or strategies at our school that have been most effective in supporting students?
That's a brilliant question. We strive hard to create a lot of campaigns, initiatives, or workshops that will help the student. One of the most important element here is the open door policy that we hold. So here there are no formalities, no appointments. Student can walk in at any point of time and just went out, right? So that is very important because students get to know that yes, they have someone in school and they can just come up and walk and talk about their issues. So apart from these, there are other workshops on maybe working out on stress, working out on the exam pressure, or implementing some good coping skills or mindfulness or meditation. So we come up with workshops and strategies like this almost all the time.
That's fantastic. It's good to know students can reach out whenever they feel the need. How do you make sure students know that these services are available and that it's okay to ask for help?
Yes, that's a very important element, majorly because students hesitate due to various reasons, like what will my friends think, will the counselor tell this to the teacher, and will my grades impact, right? So there are a lot of barriers that can come in place, and creating a safe environment for them is very, very crucial. So if they are coming to the counselor's office, the first thing that we establish is confidentiality, making sure that unless and until there's nothing life threatening that's happening here, I'll keep it safe, right? It's just a space between me and the student. So ensuring that the matters are not taken out of that office. Another aspect is judgment. That is also one of the fear that stops students, right? What will ma'am think if I share all of this? Or ma'am will think that this is so stupid and why am I coming with such problems? So assuring them that this is a non-judgmental space and they can absolutely share anything and we can work on whatever the issues are. So that holds a lot of trust. We create a good rapport so that children can feel safe to just share whatever it is.
That's really comforting and reassuring to know. Um, that the school has put so much emphasis on our mental health. A lot of the time, students may feel like they have to deal with everything on their own.
Right. And that's a feeling that is not comforting, right? That you're all alone in this. That's the feeling that we want to give them. You're not alone in this. There are others also, or seeking out for help is not a sign of weakness, right? They can come up, they can talk. That's why we hold a lot of group sessions where we talk about common issues and they get to know, okay, it's not just me, others are also in this, and we can come up with common strategies, right? So it's important to make them feel you're not alone in this.
Yeah. Exams and extracurriculars are a pretty big source of stress
You're right.
and anxiety. So, how do you help students manage that academic pressure?
Right. You spoke about anxiety. It all starts from a thought, right? Let me give you an example. You get your exam timetable. The immediate thought you might get is, oh my God, how will I finish my portion? How will I crack this? What will I do? Will I get good grades? So, if I analyze the thought here, right, let's just take, oh my God, will I be able to crack it? Right? The feelings that I'm getting out of this is not healthy, right? Maybe majorly because I'm scared here, I'm doubting myself, I'm not very confident. So if I'm going to be scared, don't you think that's going to reflect in my behavior too? Right? I might not be able to give my best because it's too stressful, or I might go on procrastinating it, or I might make some errors, or the stress might take over so much that I might fall physically ill. So everything starts from that thought. And we very commonly hear, oh, it's okay, don't think like this, think positive, it's all going to be okay. Right? But that's not easy, because changing that thought is a very difficult deal, right? It's formed since your childhood. It is impacted by your parenting, your kind of society, the friends that you have, the education that you're getting. So changing that thought is not easy. So the first step goes in identifying and being aware of what they're going through. Right? That's the first step. Because if we don't know what we're going through, we might not be able to do anything about it, right? There are a lot of times when we are just angry or we are just sad and we don't know why. Does that happen to you all?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a very common thing. So the first step goes in identifying and being aware of what you're going through, so that we can mutually discuss what are the trigger points, what are the coping skills that work for them, right? And if I just tell them do this, do this, do this, it might not work, right? You know yourself better. So if somebody is stepping in for therapy, they know them better. It's their journey. So them coming up with solutions is much more better. So that's the space that therapy holds, that we mutually set goals and we work on things.
Yeah, it's really great to know that mental health is supported in every aspect of school life, from academic pressure to extracurriculars.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, I have noticed that here at Chatrabaj Nursery School, we have circle time every morning from 8:30 to 9 a.m. before the first period starts.
Yes.
So, could you tell us a little bit more about how that time is utilized for healthy activities and how it really benefits the students?
Right. It is one of the best thing in the timetable, because it's, as you said, right in the morning from 8:30 to 9. Mornings help us to determine what's our mood, what is our frame of mind, and it sets a base for the rest of our day. So it's very important for that start to be right? If you start on a cranky note, on an angry note, that is what is going to be carried ahead, right? So it is important that that particular part of the day is a good space for you and you work on things. So here at the school, it is sometimes structured, sometimes unstructured. So unstructured meaning where the teachers can just talk to you about your issues, or taking out some common issues where everybody can talk about it, or come up with solutions or strategies, right? Or maybe deciding what is the goal for the day. Right? So setting that frame of mind is very important. Sometimes when I say it is structured, here we plan on a lot of topics through a lot of activities. I think students, they relate the most when it is through games and activities rather than somebody just lecturing them. So having a lot of good variety of games on maybe resilience or stress, or maybe setting boundaries or being assertive, saying no, right? So such basic topics are covered during the circle time, and teachers are also equipped to take this, so that maybe I cannot be everywhere all the time, so teachers can also pitch in and take this up.
That's really good to know. I never really knew circle time could be that beneficial to the students.
Yes.
What are some of the most common misconceptions about mental health that you wish to address?
That's a wonderful question. There's so much taboo still stuck to the word mental health, right? The term mental itself starts with people picturizing people going crazy or out of control or maybe too aggressive, right? Mental health is as common as any physical illness that you can get. There's a biggest misconception that mental health issues can only be a problem for those who are weak, or those who do not have confidence, or those who do not have enough friends. And that's not the scene, right? It's not a sign of weakness. Anybody can go through this. And no matter how jovial you are as a person, it doesn't mean that you can not go through any kind of stress. I think people often say this, that, "Arey, tu to kitna mast hai, tujhe kya problem hoga," right? That's one of the major misconception about mental health. The other issue that I commonly see is people come and often say, "Oh, my issue is not that big, but this is what I want to address." So again, it's their resistance. They feel that if I'm going with a problem, maybe people will judge as I am incapable to handle them. This is one of the common thing I see. There's another issue that people wait for mental illness to be worse, or it's like during the crisis they come for sessions, right? So we go to gym to take care of our physical health, right? We walk, we run, we do so many things. We take care of our diet. But why can't we take off mental health like we do it for the physical health, right? We wait for it to get worse and then we go for therapy. So mental health is not something that we deal with during the crisis. It should be like a maintenance, just like we do with our body, right? So these are the common misconceptions that I come across.
Yeah, so how do you teach them emotional regulation like the students?
Right. Emotional regulation is to know how to act in certain situation, right? If you are feeling angry in a meeting, you cannot actually shout and do bang things and throw things, right? So controlling that is what is emotional regulation. It is very important to have a regular check-in with your emotions, right? As I said, if you do not know what you're going through, it gets very difficult to handle them. So emotional regulation starts with that. Also, it is a common misconception again, that if you have any kind of emotions, negative emotions, again, maybe happy, excitement is all happy emotion, and being sad or being angry is considered as negative emotions, right? And we are taught in the society to suppress them, to hide them, right? Which is not healthy at all, right? So if we keep bottling these negative emotions, it is going to come out in certain ways, right? So it is very important to channelize them. As I wouldn't say throw it when you're angry, but there are other ways to deal with anger, right? Understanding the root cause. So understanding, why am I angry right now? Is it because I did not eat something and I'm hungry, or is it because I'm annoyed with someone, right? So going and having a conversation with them, sorting them out, that will give a proper reassurance to your emotions, rather than just shoving it down, or maybe aggressively doing something about it. So this is how you can take care of your emotions.
That's really insightful. So we're in the internet era now, and social media is everywhere. It's a part of everyone's lives.
Yes.
So how do you think social media has really impacted our students?
Yes, we are in a social media era and there's no escape to it. There are good as well as bad sides to it. The better ones are we can connect to anyone at any point of time. We can use this space to create awareness, to talk about ourselves, to gain that confidence, right? But it also has a negative side where it again impacts our self esteem when we start comparing it with others. If my friend has certain number of likes, why am I not getting certain likes, right? Or why do I have less followers than my friends? So that comparison is something that becomes unhealthy for us to take, right? There is jealousy, insecurity, or doing certain behavior which is not really healthy, just to fit in that group. You would engage in certain any kind of risky behavior or anything of that sort. So handling social media is very important, and understanding that our self-worth doesn't belong or doesn't depend on. So social media is a space for us to share our happy moments, or share anything that we create. So let it be a platform to gain confidence rather than us engaging in behavior that is not okay and unhealthy
Yeah.
for us.
So, what would you think that one of the most common issues that teenagers face now?
Yes, teenage is a very exciting period, especially because you are exploring too many things, right? Now, because it is exciting and you're exploring too many things, there are also certain challenges because you're facing it for the first time. So, there are a lot of changes like your emotional changes, cognitive changes, academic changes, right? Also, you're developing your identity in this phase. You are neither a child nor an adult. You might very commonly hear this from your parents. Oh my God, why are you still doing this? Right? You're grown up. But at the other time, they might also say that, come on, grow up. Why are you doing this? Right? So there's always that clash that comes from the parents as well. So it is important to understand that changes are okay. Everyone has their own pace of growth. It is not okay to compare, oh my God, his height is too much and I am not growing, let me cycle more, or any kind of comparison like that. This is a phase where we, as I said, we develop our own identity. It is important to set the right pace in this phase. So there are many issues that people can go through during teenage, majorly because this is also a phase where you're not more connected to the parents, but you start associating more with your friends. Does that happen to you all? You'll relate more to your friends. The friendship gets stronger. So again, friends are of your age. Maybe there could be certain things that they might feel is okay, but it could be risky. So it is very important to have that moral compass set in the right, so that there's nothing majorly wrong that happens. You must definitely explore and discover all the exciting things that are there, but with caution, and always keep an adult informed. Maybe if it's not parents, someone in the school, or
Yeah,
someone who can take care of it, so that in case there is any risk or if you fall in any kind of trouble, there's someone who can take care of it. Right? So,
Yeah. That's actually really reassuring to hear. And I think bad influences can be, well, super dangerous.
right.
So, finally, what advice would you give to someone who is struggling silently?
Yes. Because of all the stigma attached, people might not be very open to directly seek out for help. So it is very important to have the conversations about mental health in your daily conversation. Normalize it. It is as okay as going to a gym or going to a doctor, right? So have this in your conversation. Teachers are also involved here, where they constantly put this note to you that it is okay to reach out, right? Even they are equipped to check out for any kind of stressors or any symptoms, so that they can immediately get into our notice and we can help. So if someone's struggling silently, reach out for help. Talk to your friend. Start there. Maybe let your friend then give you that strength to go walk up to someone and talk about it, right? It is not a sign of weakness. It is just that you can make mistakes. You can have low phases in your life, right? That doesn't define you. Problems doesn't define you. You can always have a better solution or, function properly with help. So reach out for help no matter whatever problem it is.
Thank you. That was really insightful. And thank you so much for joining us today and sharing these thoughts. And it's clear that a supportive school environment can be really impactful when it comes to a student's mental well being.
Right.
Yes, thank you so much. And it's great to know that Chhatrapati Narsi School is so committed into helping students manage their mental health in a proactive way.
Right. Once again, thank you so much for having me here. It was really exciting and wonderful to talk about mental health.
Really, ma'am, it's our pleasure. Thank you again, Ms. Thomas. And thanks to all of the people who are watching right now.
CNS Dialogue Den, where your voice matters.